Welcome to the eComm Breakthrough Podcast. Are you ready to unlock the full potential and growth in your business? You've already crossed 7 figures in sales, but the challenge is knowing how to take your business to the next level. Join Josh Hadley, an 8-figure eComm business owner and investor, as he interviews highly successful business owners. Get ready, because you're going to learn specific actions you can take today to help your business reach its full potential and leave a lasting impact on the world.
Welcome to the eComm Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Hadley, where I interview the top business leaders in e-commerce. Today, I'm speaking with Rafael Veloz, founder and CEO of Share It Studio, and we will be talking a lot about listing optimization, conversion optimization through content building. This episode is brought to you by eComm Breakthrough Consulting, where I help 7-figure companies grow to 8 figures and beyond. Listen, Rafael, I started Hadley Designs back in 2015, and I grew it to an 8-figure brand in 7 years. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way that made the path of getting to 8 figures take a little bit longer. There were times where I had a lot of self-doubt as to whether I could actually run a successful business. Would it continue to survive? And would I be able to build a real brand? I wish I would have had a mentor, someone or a guide along the way that would have helped me move faster and overcome a lot of those stumbling blocks that I faced. So if you've hit similar plateaus and you want to know the next steps to take your business to the next level, then go to ecommbreakthrough.com. That's eComm with 2 M's to learn more. And as a special bonus to my podcast listeners, this month I'm giving away one $10,000 comprehensive business strategy audit session at no cost. All you need to do is go and email me at josh@ecommbreakthrough.com and with the subject line strategy audit, and tell me why you should win this free strategy audit. And don't worry, if you don't win this month, you're going to be entered to win for future months to come. But today I am super excited to introduce you to Rafael Veloz. Rafael is the founder of Share It Studio. He is a 3X Telly Award-winning entrepreneur in marketing and film. He has 13 plus years of marketing experience, 5 of which are specialized in Amazon marketing. Share It Studio sets itself apart as a boutique agency with a high-level, data-driven approach and bespoke full package services. The studio boasts 500 plus successful Amazon listings with an average sales increase of 77% within the first month of launching. So welcome to the show, Rafael.
Josh, thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it. What you were saying about finding somebody to help you, it's the best way, I found out. I did the exact same thing. One of my mentors is Josh Nelson. His book is right here.
Okay.
What you're offering is actually very, very, very good. I highly recommend that anybody that's listening to this. I met Josh in person, super cool guy. You should definitely at least talk to him. Maybe you're not ready, but maybe within a month, you'll hit the target, and you'll be ready to reach out to Josh and he can help you scale your business. But if somebody has a blueprint, why would you want to go sideways? If somebody knows what is gonna happen, he's gonna tell you hey, you might run into this, and this is what you have to do, instead of you bouncing your head against the wall.
So true, Rafael. I guess I need to pay you that $100 now. Slide that under the table there.
No, this is not paid advertisement in no way whatsoever. It's just that I am so stubborn that when I had my company, I was working for Nickelodeon at the time, and I was coordinator for post-production for Nickelodeon Latin America. And I'm at that time, my ego was just stupid. And I was like, no, I don't need anybody's help with this. I can do it myself. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to apply for all the awards. I'm just going to get all the awards and, blah, blah, blah. And at some point I was like, oh my God, I'm really struggling. I need help. And a friend told me, a friend who's very much more successful than me with an agency, he's like, hey man, I reached my $1 million mark, but I can't grow anymore. I don't seem to be growing. And he does completely different marketing. He does marketing for cleaning companies. I met this dude, and I really think you should meet him, and yada yada yada. And Josh is the one of the reason why I went into the Amazon space.
Fascinating.
Yeah, man.
Fascinating. Well, Rafael, you've got a lot of experience, obviously, in marketing. I mean, the statistics that you shared that as you've worked with over 500 different Amazon listings, you've been able to increase sales by 77%. That's a large amount. So let's rewind and tell everybody about your background. You were there at Nickelodeon. Tell us what background you have that's led you to be leading this successful agency and content marketing agency you have now.
Yeah, so the 77% is obviously a number that we have reached, but a lot of times, like I like to be as transparent as possible. Like any business, there's a risk to it, obviously. So not every client has 77. A lot of clients have more than 77, and some clients may have less than 77, 50%. But either way, if you give me 15% increase in sales, that's a good number. Depending on your sales.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I know, right? So it's just a number at the end of the day. What we want to know is, are we doing the right steps? And can we pivot if we're doing the right step? Are we taking the wrong steps? Can we pivot if we're doing the wrong steps? So that's, at the end of the day, that's what marketing is. Trying to understand the emotions of the buyer and use it and leverage them to your benefit. Obviously, that's just marketing. That's just capitalism, right? So how did I start? Well, I actually went to law school. I graduated from high school, and my dad's a lawyer, and I'm like, Dad, I want to be a rapper. And he's like, no, you're not gonna be a rapper. You're not gonna live under a bridge. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not, like, what should I do? And he's like, you should just go to law school like I did. I'm from Venezuela. Law school, there's there's public universities and private universities. Private universities are amazing, great. But actually, the best universities are actually public. But it's really hard to get in, extremely hard. You have to take a test, and this test is for like 400 seats, and like more than 15,000 people apply. And I took the test. I came out out of 400, I came out like 500, and I was like five between the next five to be able to get in. I was really close to getting in, and I didn't get in. And some months passed. I joined a private university, and they gave me a call like, hey, listen, some people didn't sign up for it, so you can come join. So I started going to law school. I got into law school. I did 3 years of law school. I was very depressed. My mom, sweetheart, she's like, listen, I know that art is your thing. I love politics personally, but law school is just completely different. And she's like, I understand that art is your thing. I want to help you out. Law was from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then she signed me up to something called Art School of Sound. So I was basically starting to be an art engineer from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this is the diploma, actually. Let me see if I can bring it up. I was about to hang it, but I haven't hanged it yet. So this is the school. And there was
that's cool.
Yeah, and there was a selective course which was filmmaking. And I went to school with a bunch of people who wanted to be artists, obviously, right? And I started making music videos for them. And my first music video I did this in 2009, that year. And from there, I was like, wow, this is really cool. I really liked it. A lot of things in my personal family life happened. And when I graduated from art engineering, I didn't graduate from law school. When I graduated from art engineering, because it was a short term instead of law, because law in Venezuela is 5 years. Here's 4, I think, in the US. Over there's 5. I did 3 years. And this university thing, this degree was only 2 years, if I don't miscall. And so I graduated. I loved it. I asked my professors, I want to take it to the next step. What should I do? And they told me, hey, there's this school in Florida called Full Sail University, which is amazing. You should go check it out. We were going to Orlando that year and Disney and stuff, and we just took a tour. I was going to actually take a tour for the music program. And that day, I'm like, well, I already graduated from music. Let me see if I can do something for film, because I really like film. I wasn't really decided. I took the tour. I was like, this is me. This is literally me. They showed me all the equipment, cameras, sound stages. I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. I graduated. To make the long story short, I graduated, moved to New York. Then I moved to Australia. Then I moved back to Florida, to Miami, which is where I'm living right now. And through all that moving around, I worked in a lot of companies. I worked for CNN. I was Tom Hanks' personal assistant for a month in CNN. I was doing feature films. I was doing car commercials. I did production, post-production coordinating for Nickelodeon Latin America and all these things in the film industry. At the same time, since 2012, I had my little agency, so I started running Facebook ads. I was trying to make means in the sites, so I was doing some Facebook ads and things like that. The ads that everybody has done at least once in a lifetime, but I was taking it to a whole another level at that time in Venezuela. And that's where I came here. And in 2018, I was actually kind of like sick of working for other people in other industries, and I was doing in the side. I was doing commercials for real estate, commercials for restaurants, commercials for X, Y, and Z, anything I can get my hands on. But I was plateaued, and a friend told me, "Hey, do you want to? I'm about to start selling on Amazon some coffee machines. Can you make a commercial for it?" I'm like, "Sure, dude, I'll make a commercial for it." I loved making that commercial for Capsulist. It was great. And one thing led to the other. He's like, "Hey, this commercial actually did really good, like blah, blah, blah. We're doing great. Can you make another one?" And I met Josh. And then I remember he said, "You have to niche down into something. You have to be the best at something. You cannot be the best at real estate, music videos, films, short films, this, and that." And I was like, okay, I love working with products. Products are super cool to work with. Amazon is a cool space. I'm just going to go for Amazon. So I went into Amazon. And the rest is history. We've done only Amazon since 2018. I still get calls from other industries. Sometimes I get since I haven't been doing it for a while, but sometimes I get called from like a real estate brokerage here, like, "Hey, we have like this new commercial that we need to shoot. Can you shoot it for us?" I'm like, "No, not really." So that's the story. That's how we got here. Now we're a group of just very hungry, data-driven, creative individuals. Mari, she's our art director. She's been with me for three plus years. She's amazing. She was in Vegas with us at Sales Scale. I have a bunch of, I think we talked to Andrew over email. He's the head of marketing. Andrew's a super smart guy. Love politics as well, just like me, which is cool. Yeah, man, it's been good. I talk a lot.
I love that. What a great, introduction and walkthrough of your history. A potential lawyer turned, creative director, I think is a fascinating story. And what I love is, you kind of have a similar beginnings as to the way our business actually started. My wife originally got into graphic design because she had a friend that asked my wife to create a wedding invitation for her. My wife's like, yeah, I want to do that. I think that would be fun. She does it. She blows it out of the water. This friend is like, "Oh, OMG, this is amazing. I need to go share this with everybody." She starts referring other people, and then the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
And so I love that, there's a lot of similarities, I think, for a lot of entrepreneurs where it's like, you start here with this friend, it's kind of this wild idea, you do it and you find success with it. But I also love that as you were touring some of those studios and you saw like the production equipment, like there was something that spoke to you and was like, "That's me." And I feel like all of us have those like God-given gifts inside each of us. And like really like, I think the desire for everybody is like, can we reach our full potential and be living within like our zone of genius? Because then it's amazing, like the things that we can do, because it's important to partner up with each other. Your strengths are my weaknesses and vice versa.
100%. I agree 100% with you on that. I believe that you can make money on everything, because a lot of people are going to say, "It's not about the money." Okay, it's not about the money, but it's about the money at the end of the day. So why not make a living, which is very respectful? Everybody, you have kids, right? Like, obviously you want to put food on the table for your kids. It's normal. It's normal. You want to take your wife on vacation. It's normal. It's good. It's okay. So a lot of people put money like it's an evil. It's not evil. It's actually a tool. Why not make money out of something that you're passionate about? My good friend Carlos Alvarez from Wizards of eComm says there's no way you can fail at launching an Amazon business when you love the product or the, like if you like fish, right? Okay, start saying things about fish tanks. If you like fish or you like fishing, okay, do something about fishing.
Yeah.
Like the competition on Amazon is crazy. Like, it's just going to get even worse. It's just a fact. If it was 5 years ago, sure, you could upload a photo with your iPhone or your phone and you get sold. But now it's just completely different. After the aggregators, after people with tons of experience like you. Like if you launch a business right now, obviously you know what you're doing. But if somebody that's just starting out with Amazon that wants to go into it, okay, if you don't have the means to pay a mentor, like then you really have to like start investing at least into something. So do something that you're gonna like, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think this is a perfect segue into what it is that you do. And I want you to share your expertise with all of us. I shared this in previous podcast episodes where one of my biggest mistakes is not focusing on our Amazon sales channel enough. When we first started, we had what you kind of mentioned, just kind of thrown up some very basic images on Amazon where they were like photoshopped. We didn't really spend a whole lot of time on them. And we just kind of threw them up just to occupy those different spaces, but they were by no means optimized.
Yeah.
Now, did we make sales from it? Of course we did, but could we have, optimized those images, probably increased our conversion rate? Most likely, yes. And so, Rafael, knowing that our audience are, established business owners in e-commerce, they're looking to take their business to 8 figures and beyond. Why is spending so much time on content important to them?
Yeah, I think that the best way to put it out there is with the genius of Steve Jobs, right? He never coded, but he was an amazing marketer. So I would assume that at least 80-90% of the listeners to this have an iPhone. Do you have an iPhone? Are you one of the ones that have Samsung?
I have the iPhone. I have the 13. Haven't upgraded to that 14 yet.
Okay, but you still got an iPhone, right? So imagine that Apple made a very, very bad commercial for the iPhone, right? Like just a photo taken with another cell phone or whatever, or just like posted like a photo, like just something bad. Would you have spent that amount of money on a phone that's actually, other phones are better than this phone? Like there's phones with better cameras actually, there's phones with better mics, there's phones with better processors. Why are you like so obsessed with this? Like I have an Apple, I have a MacBook Pro, I have this. Like why is the American culture so obsessed with Apple? It's because it's brand building. They build a brand, they build a community. Like if the iPhone comes out, people are gonna start lighting up. Why do people, right, like Air Force Ones? Why is the shoe a thing? Like it's the same shoe. You can literally buy another spare pair of sneakers or $50 or $40, right? Instead of 100, 150 bucks. They do the exact same thing. Why? It's the culture, it's the brand building. That's what you want to do if you really want to scale. I believe personally, if you want to build your brand, maybe exit at some point, you have to build a brand. Amazon has gone from just selling whatever Me Too products. Now you're competing against China. Like if you're not the factory, it's got to be a race to the bottom, and they're never going to lose because they're the one who make the actual thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's either you beat them in price or you build them through the brand, right? So the other thing I wanted to say is you got you got this brand build. Like this is the only way to make sure that people are in tune with what you're selling with your brand. Like there's this really good book about Sean Hart. It's called the What Private Label Millionaire Secrets. I really like it, and he was in sales scale as well. And he talks about building an email list, right? If people are gonna go and buy something new that you launched, they're gonna do it because it's that brand. So that's the idea, to make purchases out of brands. That's why I go so much into content, because brand is what makes them emotionally connected to something. Now we have to understand, how can we sell to that person? Who's your buyer persona? Is it a female? Is it a male? Is it somebody who doesn't consider themselves either female or are they binary? Or are they 75? Are they 50? Are they 30? Generation C, X, Y, whatever generation there is. They live in, I don't know, in Midwest. They live in California. The same buyer persona is not the same person buying in California that is in Florida. Like it's not the same human. It's just not.
Yeah.
You know? Even in politics, you can see it. Right? We have here in Florida, we have a Republican governor. In California, there's a Democrat. So even on that, it's very tricky, super tricky. Did I answer that question?
I think that answers the question I want you to dive into next here, Rafael. what should an Amazon seller or just an e-commerce seller, they're on board with you in terms of like they know they need to build a brand, but where do they even begin, right? In terms of building out their content. They believe that brand's important. So like, where do you start with all of this?
Yes, that's a great question. It's a great question. Depends on at what stage of your Amazon journey you're at. But if let's say you're a 7-figure seller,
Yep.
you definitely have some data. Even if you're selling on e-commerce or Shopify, you have data there. Social media, which are your top followers. The tricky thing is like the people who buy off of Amazon are not the exact same people who buy somewhere else. So even though you kind of simulate, some of my clients actually have a complete buyer persona on Shopify than they have on Amazon. It's very
interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Interesting.
So if you're a 7-figure seller on Amazon, you definitely have brand registry, which gives you brand analytics. Now let's understand the actual consumer. Who's the consumer? Who's buying from you? Is it a male? Is it a female? I don't know if I can share my screen so I can show you a little bit of what I mean.
Let's do it. So, and for those of you, we obviously record the podcast on audio that you're probably listening to, but we also upload all of our videos to YouTube. So go check out our YouTube channel, eComm Breakthrough as well there.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe I can just describe it. So right now,
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, walk us through it all.
So this is a client of ours, Tom. His brand is Russell. We started working with him when he had 2,000 reviews. Actually, as you can see, it's a pretty it's a minimalistic mail wallet. A cool thing that if you're seeing this is that this main image is completely different from this one, even though it's the same. These are the child ASINs, right? But it's different. Some ASINs, depending on the actual on the actual child ASIN, they have different hero images. They convert differently. That's something interesting that we also found, which is I think a lot of people are a lot of people who have various child ASINs, they just launch one hero image and just that's it. I believe that the hero images, the main image, is one of the most important images because you can have spent 10, 15K building your brand, right? But when you're paying a lot for PPC and you're ranking number 1, great. But there's somebody else ranking number 2. If nobody clicks on that listing, your listing, they're never going to see the A+. They're never going to see the video. They're never going to see anything, correct? So you have to be very diligent when creating hero images. If you want to know more about hero images, I don't know, Josh, if I'm allowed to say anything, but speak to me. I'll be more than glad to help you guys out. Going back to Russell, understanding the buyer persona for this wallet. As you can see, it says keyword is minimalist wallet for men, right? So they're targeting male personas, obviously. When Dom came to us, he's like, "Hey guys, I'm losing market share. I'm still number 1, but there's a trend. And if you really love your business, you're looking at your graphs and you understand that if it's going down, even though if you're first, if it's going down and some people are going up, it's going to cross at some point. Right now, you're number 1, so you definitely have more money than they do. What are you going to do to pivot? Because during sales scale, I saw a graph that was really cool. It's like you have to pivot, not just when you're going down, also when you're going up.
Yeah.
It's even more important when you're going up so you can keep scaling. Or maybe you don't want to scale anymore. It's fine as well. But if you do, like definitely when you're going up. So Dom came to us. Let me show you some graphs. Oh, this changed my, sorry, give me 1 second. It's giving me some issues. Sorry guys. Okay, here you go. I'm sharing right now my window and I'm going to this one, got it. Okay. Dom came to us and he's like, "Hey guys, this is his graphs from last Q. This is Q 2020. Q4 of 2020. He came to us like, we're losing a lot of market share. Our sales are tanking. What can we do? So we looked at his listing, all these things. The most interesting thing, Share Studio is verified in the Amazon Advertising Partner Network. It's just a fancy way that Amazon, thinks we're qualified, I guess, which is cool. the big guys saying that they were good enough to work with. And we looked at the data, and a lot of this data was 35 to 54 age range. Then we get 48% of the buyers, 48.7% of the buyers are female, right? So what does that mean? That means that almost 50% are female buyers for male wallets. And on top of that, you got 85% of them being married. Just 15% are single. So you're telling me that a male wallet, 50% of the buyers are female, and you're creating only content, the buyer persona is only for male? Why? Like, no, let's think of why they're buying. Let's get in their shoes. Most likely they're buying for their better half, correct? So what do? We started creating content like this. The perfect gift for your favorite man. Luxury gift box. Things like that. Make that emotional connection. It's not, it's not rocket science. It's just understanding and executing the best way possible. That's why when some Amazon sellers just upload some pictures, I'm like, okay, great. Maybe the honeymoon phase is going to help you, but how long is it going to help you? Because the honeymoon phase is just a stage. A lot of your listeners know this, but just in case somebody new is listening to this, is Amazon helping you, quote unquote? But for me, it's actually Amazon testing you. It's saying, is this new listing doing good enough to give a better buying experience for my customer? Because at the end of the day, unless you're Apple, they're not really your customers. They're Amazon's customer. They're going there to that marketplace to see. Does it make sense? I don't know if it makes sense. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes tons of sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have to understand and give them a better buying experience. Amazon now has the follow button, for example, right? Amazon has the Amazon post, which we created a lot for Dom. So if Amazon is giving you all these things, it's for a reason. Amazon is trying to build a brand behind it. Amazon's understanding that building a brand is extremely important. So why not give it to them? If they're giving you all those tools, make sure you're doing it the right way. It's like going to the gym and just going and, sitting down and just looking at your phone. Are you really going to the gym? Going back to
I think,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Rafael, sorry to interrupt you, but I think this is an important thing to call out to the listeners here, is that the first step is for you to identify who this audience is, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, who is the buyer for this particular product? Because then that's going to change the way that you're merchandising your product, right? The images that you're creating. And then you also kind of dove into, utilizing those tools that Amazon has now done, I think over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, Amazon has been pumping out tools to help us as brand builders actually truly build a brand on Amazon, so it's a better experience. At the end of the day, Amazon wants the experience to be good for their customers because they're their customers, but they know that a better experience is, instead of having just a flea market of random sellers just selling a bunch of crap, it's actual brands that are selling good products with a story and an experience behind it. So, Rafael, I'd be interested to have you explain to our audience, what are some of the tools that Amazon has given to brands to actually build their brand, to tell a brand story on Amazon, to win that customer, to make it feel more of an experience than, again, your Chinese competitor that only cares about price, and that's their only, competitive advantage.
Yeah, 100%. Do you mind if I finish going through the case study?
Yeah, go back, and then let's do that.
Then we can go through the other ones, because those are two great questions. But I wanted them to actually understand what's going on and how we did it, so they can maybe replicate it. So you can see my screen, right? So This is what we did. Let me go really quick, see if I can find it. Where is this? Good old presentation. Okay, here you go. So we worked with Dom November of 2021. Okay, and November of 2021, he was doing. So let me show you really quick. So this is the year before Dom working with us is the red. So red is 2020 to 2021. So 2020, right? And then the green is when he reached us. So this Q4 is for 2021. I hope it makes sense.
Yep.
So he was selling really good during the pandemic. Obviously, everybody was selling really good because everybody was on Amazon. Great. November comes and he sees that his sales are just tanking compared to last year. It's normal. Amazon went from a growth of from Q4 comparison of 2019 to 2020 of growth of 44.1%. Why? Because everybody was inside, obviously. But the contraction was actually huge comparison to the last year, which is still a growth, but 9% is nowhere near 44%. This year we're having for the first time to Amazon Prime Day, right? So it's like something's going on. And what's going on is that there's just new marketplaces arising. You got the Walmart, you got the Target, and they're very small still, but believe me, these are huge companies that are coming. They know that it's happening. So they want to launch new tools. They want to get a better. So it's the perfect time. So yeah, going back to it, Amazon didn't grow as much as they expected. So DOMs and a lot of sellers, I assume, saw their sales tank a little bit. So he came to us like, hey guys, like this is happening. Obviously, I need to do something about it. We did the analysis, we did all the things. And as you can see, once we posted here. As you can see, comparison Q4 of 2021 of Q4 of 2020, sessions increased drastically and sales as well. And this is all because of just creating content that relates to the actual buyer, creating effective content. Obviously, having pretty content is very important, but having pretty effective content is even better. So that's the idea. So comparison of Q4, of a very good Q4, which is 2020, to a okay Q4 of 2021, sales improved by 45% and traffic by 55%. And this is not, us going like, oh my God, we're the smartest people on the planet. We're not. We're not. Do we have experience? Yes. Do we love what we do? We actually do. So this is just what you get when you put actually thorough thinking into it and put some love into it, and not just a Me Too process or a cookie cutter template, which is what some people do. I'm not saying everybody, but what some people do is just do a cookie cutter, like, oh, A+ content, 5 modules, boom, 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 get it out of here. Put a bunch of text, let's rank it, boom. No, give it a story, give it something. And if you really want to take Amazon seriously, if you really want to be an 8-figure seller, a 7-figure seller, a 6-figure seller, 6-figure, you can still, if you don't have kids, I think you can still live pretty good. But if you have kids, you definitely have to make more money. A wife, kids, like definitely start making more money, man. Or women.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we reached with a good brand that was a 7-figure seller already. And obviously he has 6,000 reviews already. We optimize it from time to time, depending. So yeah, I hope that helps, guys.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic numbers and a successful case study there. What all did you change for him? Was it A+ content and the images and the copy? Like, what all did you do? Was it just the main image or secondary images? Tell us more about that.
Everything. We did everything. So the first thing we did is to understand the first thing we did is we changed. So we go through a process, and the process is from top to bottom. For us, the most important thing is the hero image. Hero image is extremely important. Let me see if I can share my screen again. Home tab. Here we go. So, for example, for the main image, we create a lot of main images, a lot, and that's all including the price. So, for example, here you can see all the main images we ran through Pixel. And then this main image that we ran through Pixel, we did different types of main images. So you can see this one's 48, right? Let me put it bigger. This one's 58, meaning that it got more ranked, right? And then this one, which is this one, got 42. I actually thought, since the keyword is minimalistic wallet, that either one of these two was going to win, or this one was going to win, or something like that. I thought something else was going to win, but actually these are the ones that came first and second, second and first. And if we go to the, let me see if I can share now the listing. If we go to the actual listing, you can see that there's a new hero image, which is the one that came in second place. And he changes it throughout the year, because throughout the year, buyers' intention change. So you have to keep on testing. if you're making more than at least $15,000 in profit from your Amazon store, like you're okay, you're good. You should be taking this way serious, more than you are, because a lot of people in this country will love to make at least $5,000 a month, at least. So if you're making at least 15K, like you should definitely be taking this seriously. And if you have a bunch of main images, do A/B testing. We give our clients a bunch of main images with the data from Pigful, so they run tests. Okay, this is going on. This is helping. This is not helping. In Valentine's Day, things change, and we create custom content for holidays, for example. Holiday season is great, so you have to definitely create custom content. Let me see if I can show it here. They should be updating it, by the way, this year, because we created custom content for them for Christmas. Because obviously Q4 is just amazing for everybody. Let me see if there's one here. This is, so here you go. For example, for Amazon Post, little, Christmas tree in the bottom, the back. Again, with the box, because during Christmas, people are giving gifts. And 48% of the buyers are female. So why not put the box in a Christmas presentation, right? So that's the idea behind it. And you said to that point, so the first thing is like the main image, right? Yeah.
And then what are kind of the next steps in that process? Like what other content and things are you tweaking? Because the main image is important. You run those pick food tests on them, determine which the best image is. You switch those out, based on seasons and time of the year. But what other content then do you focus on after that main image?
Oh man, that's such a good question. Let me see if I can share it. Actually, it'll be way helpful for everybody if I share it. So we try to do everything. The main thing we will focus on always at first are the images. That's the first thing people are gonna see. Main hero or main infographics and lifestyle. Infographics teach you, lifestyle shows you how you can use it day-to-day basis, because that's, if you're gonna buy something on Amazon, it's most likely gonna be used at some point in their life, right? So definitely show how you can use it. Make that emotional connection. You have to humanize the product. Like I really dislike sometimes when the product is like here, it's like the microphone's there and I'm here, like touch the microphone. Like make that emotional connection. This is so important. This little touch is so important.
Yeah.
Just a little touch is so important. You have a water bottle, so here are images, infographics, and lifestyle. After that, we go. This is my order of importance for me. If a client wants to put 1, 2, 3, then we go into A+ content, because A+ really helps you rank, but effective A+ content. I completely disagree. I know I'm probably going to get some backlash on this, but I dislike completely A+ content that has a lot of text. The attention span of a human right now is the lowest in history. It's like 3 seconds. Right? Social media has made us like that. TikTok. If you don't like TikTok, the first 2 frames, you'll literally keep scrolling. Right? These are the buyers of the future. So, and I really dislike when they try to save money. They're not actually saving money; they're actually wasting money. And they reuse the images in the main the images of the A+, the ones they have in the main images, because humans, the brain, actually discards a lot of the information you see during the day. I don't think you remember every day what happened during the cell scale. It's impossible. You won't. You remember key little things, right? So if the brain sees that an image is the same image that I already saw, the brain's going to discard it. Like, oh, I already saw that. I don't need that information to be processed. So have custom images for everything. The A+, for the brand story, for the A+ content. So I would do images, A+, brand story, videos. Videos are very important, of course. Videos, depending the type of video, there are different type of videos that I recommend buyers to really take into consideration to this. Imagine that you have a video going viral on TikTok, and you grab that video and you post it on LinkedIn. Do you really think it's going to have the same effect on LinkedIn than on TikTok?
Definitely not.
Exactly, right? So why would you use a video that could be very useful as a sponsored display ad, versus sponsor ads, right? Then as a listing video. They're two completely different things. The listing video is to help you convert. People are gonna see the video most likely third after they see in the A+. Reviews, obviously, extremely important. Do not buy reviews, but extremely important. So you get the video after they've seen a bunch of content. So that video is to help you close. That's it. Or if it's a very complicated product, to help them understand better the product. But the sponsor ads video, the listing video can be 45 seconds. Easy. A minute if it's something really very complicated. But the sponsor ads video, that's the only video you see there. You see a bunch of listings, paying PPC, bunch of hero images. One's sideways, one's going up. Some maybe have a female model or a male model or a hand model, whatever. The only video they'll see, most likely is yours, or at the end of the page. They'll see sometimes two or sometimes most likely one, which is in the middle of the page. So if your video is bad, for example, I hate it when I see like a video and it starts, the first frame is just a white screen. I'm like, Amazon's homepage, like it's white. So what? White on white? Like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Like, I don't know if I can show you a quick video that we made for a sponsor.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So let me show you this video really quick. So this was primarily done for a sponsor ad video. 1 second, I'm loading the video and it's loading. I'm skipping the ad and I'm sharing right now. So this is a hand sanitizer during COVID times. And this is the first frame you see. Dark on a white background because white's gonna be Amazon, right? So this is the first thing you see, like a germ, big germ, and then right. So that's the when you're scrolling, it's like you're like, what is this? That's what I want. That's what you should be wanting. Somebody
like stops them in their tracks, right?
Yes, correct. Just like, what is that? That's what you want. You want that effect. So they're like, at least pay attention for 2 seconds, at least, not just keep scrolling. So let me play it. Quick note, music is important, but a lot of times you're going to watch it like this without music, okay? So that's why it has to be very fast and dynamic. We give you the problem, right? Fast, dynamic, and then we give you a solution. And then, obviously, more solution, and then we interact with the product. We show some benefits, something really quick, okay? Most likely, they're going to click on the video already, all right? So that's the idea behind that. The idea is to have something, sponsor ads video, to have something that...
Go ahead. Keep going. You're going to talk about this, but start with the problem, right?
Depending on
well, you're the expert, so you tell us, like, what's that hook, right?
Yeah. So start with something, I would say it's spicy, something that's like out there. So if it's a kid's play, like a kid's toy, let's say it's slime. I'm just bringing this out of thin air. Like maybe have a kid stretching the slime and just like with a face, like, something that helps the parent understand. Or if it's a kitchen utensil, let's say a meat hammer, right? I don't know, maybe they're vegan. Let's do something else. A garlic press. Maybe a bunch of garlic falling down and the person like, what's going on? Something, you want that. That's what you want. The first frame, at least the first frame. And then you jump into a story for the sponsor ads video. And then after if you have a bunch of listings, definitely you should have a good brand store. If you're building a brand, the video there should be about the brand. Maybe, I have such a beautiful client. Her name is Melanie, and she's a mom. She started these products for babies, and because she didn't have the solution, so she's like, I'm going to make my own solution. And her story is so great. You want to share that story. People buy promotions, and if you connect with that, that's super important. That's why when Elon Musk launches that tequila, I'm Tesla. Wow. Sold out. If you go buy it,
Right.
it's like $2,000 right now, right? So
Yep.
you want to make that connection. Hopefully, at least a lot of us can go up to Elon's height. But either way, start with something. That's the idea. After Amazon store, I would say definitely go social. You should have already gone social. Social outside of Amazon, but also social on Amazon. People are not taking it into consideration. Amazon's going social. They have the follow button. They have Amazon posts. They have Amazon live videos.
Yep.
Like, if Amazon's giving you all this, Amazon is one of the most avant-garde, wealthy companies out there. If they're launching this, it's not because they're like, oh, maybe we can do this. They have thousands of people who are getting paid millions of dollars, which are way smarter than us. Understand the next trends. If they're doing this, it's not because they're like, we have nothing to do here. Let's just do this, whatever. No, there's a reason behind it. Take into consideration. It's like when your mom tells you, don't jump off that table. You're going to get hurt. You're like, fuck it. Boom, broken elbow. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Rafael, this has been a lot of content that you've shared.
I know.
Excuse the pun, right? But this has been a wealth of knowledge, I think, for all of our listeners. One of the things that I like to do here, I love to leave the audience with 3 actionable takeaways from each episode.
Mm-hmm.
So here are the 3 takeaways that I noted, Rafael. Let me know if I'm missing something. But first of all, an actionable takeaway for any seller, regardless of what level you're at right now in regards to your sales, is number 1, go take a look at your data. Use the brand analytics data that Amazon is giving you. Understand your customer demographics, understand who it is that is purchasing your product, and you can even understand that through the reviews that you're getting. Read what people are saying and say, oh, I bought this this was the perfect birthday present for my husband, or perfect Christmas present for my father, or whatever it is. Start to understand that, and it's going to then lead into action step number 2, which is implement those findings that you learn from that data and that research into your listings, and primarily into your main image first, right?
Yes.
And then into your lifestyle images, your secondary images of infographics and lifestyle images, which bleeds into your A+ content and your video. And then finally, the third actionable takeaway is you need to keep testing. And the way that you do this is you prioritize everything. And Rafael, you did such a great job prioritizing like which content people should pay attention to the most. Number 1 was your hero image, that main listing image. Number 2 is those lifestyle infographic, those secondary images, the listing images on Amazon. Number 3, your A+ content, the brand story that's a part of that A+ content. Fewer the words, the better, be visually telling. And don't just copy your main images or your secondary images that are already higher up in your listing. Like, come out with some brand new, custom-made A+ content for better effect.
Yeah.
4th, you're getting into your videos, right? You can and have 2 separate videos, like you mentioned. One that's there on your listing that can be more detailed and is meant to convert the customer.
Yes.
But then your advertising video needs to stop people in their tracks and say, hey, what is this? I need to dive into this and pay attention, right? You're just trying to drive traffic from the ad.
Yes.
5th, you mentioned the brand store. 6th, you then talked about social media, not only external social media, but utilizing Amazon's internal social media, which is they have the Amazon posts, they have that follow button, and you can go live on Amazon, right? There's so much that you can be doing on Amazon. Rafael, did I miss anything in kind of summing that up?
No, you did great. I actually missed something that's extremely important, and it's the quality of the content equals the quality of the product in the eyes of the buyers, and the listing is the content. The content is the listing. What do I mean by that? If an image is Photoshop, what we use as Photoshop lifestyle, for example, you are overimposing an image on something else, buyers already know. They understand that it feels fake. They won't say why exactly, but they'll understand it feels fake. So if you're selling, for example, supplements, extremely important. Supplements. Supplements is something that's going to go inside your body, guys. Would you take something that you find that it's going to help, it's going to be a little bit like fake, or a little bit that it's going to be, make you feel bad? No, you wouldn't. So organic imagery, organic means just taking it with a real life model. It's a little more expensive, but you're already spending at least $5,000 bringing the things from China or whatever. Like, you have to what, you can just sit it on Amazon? That's my take, though.
So true. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point. You can't just skimp on the content. Dial it up. Pretty it, take it to the nines. Last question I want to ask you here, Rafael. Who is somebody that you admire or respect most in the e-commerce space?
Oh, apologies. I would say there's two people who I admire dearly. One is Gary Vee, super Gary Vee, right? Super inspirational dude. And a person that I admire dearly is also Carlos Alvarez from Wizards of eComm. He's such a humble guy with so much experience and so much success. And he still helps out people who are just starting to people who are really, really successful. I'm all about helping each other. I believe that there's enough food on the table for everybody to eat. You just have to take your game to the next level. And is exactly like that. He has a marketing agency of his own, and he still, refers me, which is dude, that's amazing. Carlos from Wizards of eComm.
Awesome. Yes, and I've heard Carlos's podcast. He does a great job there as well. So, Rafael, you've dropped a lot of knowledge with all of us. You've shared some wicked smart ideas in how we can up-level our content and actually turn our business on Amazon into a real brand, because that is what's going to be most important as you look into the future of Amazon. It's only going to get more competitive. So double down now, get your content in shape. And Rafael, if people want to learn more and maybe even work with you, where can they find you?
Just look for us at Share It Studio, just like you share something on social media, SHAREAT Studio. Share It Studio. Instagram handle is the same. My personal email is hello@shareitstudio. Very easy to remember. Share It, like you share something on social media. That's the pun behind it. And what else? That's it. Guys, we do a complimentary marketing consultation. You can come in. We can look at your listing if you want. I can give you my tips. Even if you don't work with me, I can still tell you what I believe you are doing wrong, so you can go and do it. If you want somewhere else, if it's with me, great. Because even though if you're going to do it somewhere else, you're going to come back at some point because you're like, oh, this guy was right. I'm going to go work with him. So it's that give, jab, right hook type of thing.
I love that. Sounds like you've been following Gary Vee, huh?
Yeah, man, for a while. Yeah, man.
I love that. Well, that's very generous of you, Rafael, and I encourage our listeners to go check out your website and learn a little bit more about you. But thanks again for joining us today on this episode.
Oh, quick thing. If you guys come from this episode, just say I came from Josh, and I'll give you 15% discount.
Hey, there you go. Look at that. Added bonus right there. Little gift at the end.
Yes.
15% discount or bonus, right?
Yeah.
For you guys. So mention Josh, eComm Breakthrough Podcast.
Yes.
You heard Rafael here. So thanks again, Rafael.
See you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Visit eCommBreakthrough.com for more information. If you've enjoyed today's episode, the best way you can show your appreciation is by clicking the subscribe button and quickly leaving a review. See you again next time.